Internet! Hello, you lovelies. We are back on the My Hero Academia train. This is going to be for Season 5, Part 1. We are almost caught up to date with where My Hero Academia is. This is for John Goetz, the great patron of anime and other art, who is a patron sponsor of this level, wherein he recommends things for me to review, and I dive into 2 hours of it. If you want to see more My Hero Academia reviews, there is a whole bunch on this very channel, in this very thread, of 1 through 4, every episode of every season to date. I am going to be trying to get Part 2 up this month, and then September I'm not doing any videos, and then I'm going to finish up My Hero Academia Season 5 in October if I've not caught up by that point, and then we're going to figure out when new stuff airs. But if you guys want to keep on the My Hero Academia train, I'm going to try to finish it up sometime next week for Part 2, which is going to be episodes 7 through 12. But in the meantime, let's dive in. The way this works is the opening is non-spoiler, and I give you my general thoughts. Then I get into the spoilers, where I break down every beat. I take notes while I'm watching the show, and I break it down piece by piece. And again, this is for John Goetz, who is a gentleman and a scholar and anime aficionado. Non-spoiler thoughts on Season 5. A little slower to start for me than I would have expected. My Hero Academia has earned its place in my closet. I now have My Hero Academia wardrobe, which I should be wearing, but I'll wear for Part 2. I got a shirt, and I only get a shirt when I feel like I know and care about something enough that if someone asks me about it, I'm not a liar. That's an important distinction for me. So I wasn't going to be like, hey, I like Dragon Ball Z, which means I like anime. No, that does not seem fair to fans of anime, because that's not the case. I know DBZ, but I don't know anime. My Hero Academia is now another thing I feel strongly enough about to own merch. I feel like if some MHA fan approached me on the street, I could keep up, and that feels good. So I feel like when I say this about Season 5, it's justified. I think this might be my least favorite opening of a season, but I do like where this first arc lands. I just feel like the show usually is very good at juggling a multitude of characters. This is probably the first time I've been like, whoa, a lot of new folk, not invested in them yet, don't know if I care. But by the time it lands, I'm invested enough. I'd still give the opening of the season a B. So it's still very strong, still better than most cartoon, anime, manga adaptations. What little I'm exposed to, still way more invested in this show because I love the characters. But I will say the opening of this season was a little off for me. And I'm also really curious where this ties into that movie I saw, the My Hero Academia movie 3, because it still doesn't feel like they correlate just yet. So I'm curious if that takes place after Season 5. But let's get into the notes. So non-spoiler thoughts, enjoyable, still very action-packed, still entertaining, still love the tactics, still love the world building, still love the team dynamics, still love all that. Just felt like they rushed a bit with new characters in a way they hadn't done yet, and felt like I didn't feel as engaged at the top of the season. But let's get into the nitty-gritty, and let's get into where it leaves off better than it started. Solid B for me, Season 5. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. Come on back. We'll be here. Spoilers away! Episode 1 of Season 5, which is episode 89. We've watched 89 of these so far, you lovelies. Stoked to be back at it. Endeavor's the #1 hero, and well-deserved, but a reluctant Todoroki. Dig that. Official hero certification. They're still going after it. It's where we ended with Season 4. They were getting their, extracurriculars in for a couple of those characters. Kicking training up another notch as emergency drill kicks off. As you do, these are heroes. They got to be out in the street. They got to be ready for anything. Suit up montage to kick off the season makes me happy. We get a voiceover of new modifications of the suits. We get to see new character design. All stuff that makes me happy. It is so X-Men in the teamwork, usage, and flavor. You know, I love me some X-Men. Love that this anime is so inspired by Western comics, but able to incorporate those attributes and tropes in new ways. Love the X-Men flavor. Honestly, the X-Men live-action show that's inevitably to come from the MCU should follow My Hero in a lot of ways. Why, quote, why are they all staring? I'll pretend they're potatoes. No heroes here, only starches. Okay, 1. You guys know I love potatoes. 2, that's a funny line. 3, well used, great character growth and humor, all about it. Love this voiceover and power set description, basically reading like an OG video game. Really love how they're getting that many characters in that way. I just wish I felt more invested about them. Oh shit, Deku got smacked the fuck up. Bakugo, always gonna Bakugo. Bit of a catch-up ep, admittedly, but stoked to re-immerse into this world. So that first episode was very short notes, kind of a wash for me. And episode 2 is very similar. I was like, okay, we're getting back in, we're getting into the groove. it felt more like we had to play catch up than other seasons. I don't know if there was a longer gap between season 4 and 5. I don't know if I was just not feeling it as much, but I gave that episode like a little on the lower B minus C plus side. Episode 2, which is episode 90. Oh shit, Endeavor without facial hair because he's healing and recovering. Come on, Hawk, get him. Whoop, problem solved thanks to Bunny Girl. Oh shit, Hawk is a bad guy, betrayal. Now I'm in. I love the intrigue. I love the politics. I love that Hawk guy, not Hawkeye or Hawkman, Hawk the guy, is, a bad guy. Didn't expect this from Mark. He's part of the league. Shit. Double agent. He is good. All right, I bought it all. Here we are. Okay, loved that. Loved the back and forth. Loved all the things they were doing there. This ep is already infinitely more my jam than the last. So we've already gone from that C+, B-. I'm fully immersed. I'm at a B+, B+ here. Indifferent to prestige and fame explains the whole finale with Endeavor. This is great. Love learning about Hawk. Hawk's backstory. Love this episode. Todoroki dinner with family, and now Endeavor and Shoto. They're having their match. Love the time we're getting with the characters as people and at home, building into how much we care about them. One for all backstory. Is it like the Panther Herb? Is this the ancestral plane of this world? Loving this. In-universe comic plots are comic-inspired anime plots. Meta, especially considering the show has Western comic inspiration. Really dug that. Past the singularity point, so many story developments, especially with All for One. Backstory dream leading to power upgrade for Deku. Intrigue. All right in episode 391. Now we're grooving. Now I'm feeling it. All Might didn't have these dreams. What the what? This is on some Voldemort memory shit. Vestiges. What's a vestige? And then obviously how they explain what a vestige is in this world. Ooh, I dig this old Thor-esque All Might suit. Really cool OG Silver Age Thor flavor. Feelings are what fuel power. Emotions are of those who cultivated One for All are woven into the ability itself. Love that. That is so cool. That adds such a great dynamic to everything about All for One. I really love how much these powers have a backstory and have a history and have their own character that ties into the character of All Might and Deku and all those things. Love that. Accidentally powering up is what woke him. Hadn't considered that as an issue. That's fair, and that is awesome. I love the idea that your quirk can affect you like subconsciously, like in that way, something simple like waking you up. Like that's a really interesting thing. Like as you're growing pains wake you up. As you get muscly, sometimes you're shifting and your arm falls asleep because you need better circulation because you don't stretch enough. Not that that's something I deal with. It's different. I do deal with that. It's very frustrating. You got to stretch, guys. Don't be like me. You got to stretch. Quirks combining abilities of parents leading to uncontrollable quirks. But so that's a cool thing, right? Like people are talking about the evolution of quirks. That is something they dealt with in the MHA movie is, quirks overrunning things. And there's that like Friends of Humanity kind of subplot. But this is interesting because uncontrollable quirks because of two family members. And that, kind of has some Todoroki implications. But what's interesting is the implication that nature wouldn't be part of that evolution. Like nature wouldn't be helping that. So that's an interesting element. She was so beautiful. I know! Loved All Might's reaction to She Was So Beautiful in Deku seeing his master there. New suits and upgrades continue on. I very much dig it. Stop praising my suit. Bakugo, got a Bakugo. And Midoriya on his Deadpool hella pouches and accessories. Ish, loving it. Class A versus Class B. Now we're in. Okay, so like I said, the season started off not great for me. Didn't like the first episode. First episode might have been more like a C, C minus. I'm not going to lie, the more I think about it. But we quickly get better with 2, and now into 3. Loving Class A versus Class B. Aizawa 2, there's another. And of course, it is not an Aizawa, but it's an Aizawa type using his cloth there. Of course, Deku would like Shinso. I'm not here for friend speech because he's all about work. Shinso's all about work. So is Deku. Shinso's a little bit more severe. Class A, disaster into strength. Class B, more traditional growth and studies. Intrigued to see those rivals. Werewolf guy, quirk equals beast. Haha. Shinsu's vocal modulator, brainwash the beast. That is a cool power set. And A versus B ends on a cliffhanger once we get into it. So as soon as we're about to start, boom, cliffhanger. All right, episode 4, which is 92 overall. And fight. Shinso backstory, brainwashing quirk, terrifying implications of that element there. We're talking some Phoenix, Apocalypse, Onslaught, Xavier shit. Can't make them talk, so he's got the vocal modulator. Very cool external versus internal quirk. Like you externally create a tool to help your internal quirk. As ever, cool uses of quirks in creative ways and rad tactics in team building and use. Love that. That's what I love about this show. Class B doing great to combat Class A. Deku is ever the leader. New power for Frog Girl, Toxic Mucus. We haven't seen this yet, so we get a little bit of level up. They imply it's backstory that we've already seen before amongst in-canon in the character, so it's cool to see it as us getting to see her new power. Vine, Dragon Shroud, gave it on. New characters coming out of the work. Well, we don't announce your plan out loud there, Electric Eye, yelling out his plan and it getting foiled. Come on, be better. Wonder what Dragon Shroud's deal is. Ooh, scale bullets. Immediately I'm told what his deal is. We're into Frog Girl's badass arc. Every character needs their badass arc, except Bubble Bitch. Fuck that character. But Frog Girl, getting his arc, getting her arc. Frog Girl getting her badass arc is nice. 2-for-1 Class B knockout with Fastball Special. Also getting to see a Fastball Special, an X-Men move outside of the X-Men, is rad. A wins, and Shinsu has that Deku work harder spirit. Of course he does. That's why they're birds of a feather. All right. Episode 5, 93, let's hear those grades. Quote, move on, but don't forget this feeling. Good life lesson for loss and failure. Move on, don't forget the feeling, though. It's important to remember your losses. That's how you learn. Win or learn. So when you lose, just learn. Don't forget, but move on. Strong Shinsu Deku parallels, enjoying them. Teaching styles between Class A and B, very different. Obviously, it's cool to see that. Post-fight breakdown and analyzation is fun as these characters grow. I love the after the action dissertation we get from all the different characters. That's when you get to know the characters. That's when the character development happens. Like, you get it with their tactics and stuff in like a 20%, but then 80% happens in the dialogue and characterization after the fight, which I really enjoy. Still wondering where that movie falls into continuity. It's vexing me. Merging with Darkness versus Bird of Darkness. Loving this evolution for Darkhold here. At last, someone in the anime asks, why are you yelling? Guys, I struggle with anime tropes like the sweat, the pervertedness, and the yelling. This asked, and that makes me like MHA even more. My Hero Academia asks, why are you yelling? Which I appreciate. First time I have to admit, there may be too many characters, too many new characters. It's a lot to keep up with for me, and I read comics. Stationary Darkness versus Bird Darkness. New move, Dark Fallen Angel. And Hawk is back. Hawks is back, and he's awesome. Don't know if I trust him, but he's awesome. Birds of a Feather, Intrigue, Flying Bird, Darkness Guy Evolution. Misdirection is the key to my designs. Grab sparkly belly button guy with a yelp. The yelp is funny. Vines is already driving me nuts. Overzealous religious characters drive me insane, and Vines is driving me mad. Oh shit, Flying Bird guy. Dark Shadow anchors him up. New move is dope. Loving all this. And Navel Gazer takes out Dark Dude with a sparkly belly button. And it ends with mushrooms? Gets crazy as we go into episode 6, the mushroom episode. All right. This mushroom attack is glorious madness. 2 or 3 hours of mushroom life is gross, but not so bad. Invisible Girl plus mushrooms looks like Mr. DNA from Jurassic Park. When our Invisible Girl lead gets covered in mushrooms, she looks like Mr. DNA from the 93 Jurassic Park. Can he manipulate the darkness of Dark Shadow? Intrigue. 2-pronged attack based on anticipating Class A's moves. That is smart with how public Class A has been. Class B would study their moves and use that against them, and they have tactics that Class A wouldn't have against Class B because they're more private. Love that. Who's this onomatopoeia guy? His name is Manga Man. We've gotten into pure madness. Some of these characters don't work for me as well as seasons 1 through 4 do. This guy's some madness. But hey, I'm still vibing. Damp whoosh. Battle Fist equals Miss Marvel. There's a very Miss Marvel character introduced. Smart offensive. No time to think. You got to just go. If you think, you die, like in Top Gun. Leader confidence boost. Cannon from her own body. That is badass. I love that this character is getting clothes and more character attributes. Combo mushroom plus word attack for Dark Shadow. A plan to pull themselves together. Get 'em, Yayuruzu. That is a hard name to say. I apologize to any of the original fans of the show that I am butchering that name. I do apologize. Disinfectant plus invisibility plus night vision. That's how you win. Black Abyss Sabbath, another badass move. And counting on the cowardice of Shadow Boy plus Cloak Trap is very clever. Hell yeah, Dark Shadow. Mushrooms in the lungs. Yeesh, that is gross and seems painful. Oh no, how the turntables. I like this perspective on improval. Again, win or learn. They lost, but they improved, and they learned a lot about themselves and how to fight, and that's why you have training. It's like the danger room. You've got to learn in these situations so you don't die in the field. Love this episode. Even with this L, they all crushed. And 4-0, but an emotional win-ish. So, season got better for me. It got grooving. It took a little bit for me to really get invested. I don't know if that's just time away, if that was a gap in the seasons, but this season started out a little slow, but then did pick up for me. I'm excited to get into part 2, which is going to be episodes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Hoping to do that next week, but so far this is about a B-ish range. It's the first season that is starting out as a B for me. So we'll see if it picks up. I'm just trying to be honest about all the seasons. The rest are A's. So hopefully it picks up, and we'll be back hopefully next week for more My Hero Academia Season 5. Part 2. Thank you to John Goetz. Thank you to every one of my patrons. Thank you to everyone watching. If you guys are patrons, remember I am going to be taking September off, and then in October we're going to be restructuring. But in the case, especially of John Goetz here, I will be doing the videos that I have from past months, past due. That's why I'm restructuring in October. I don't like being late on stuff, and I don't want to keep being late, so I'm going to restructure in October. But in the meantime, expect more My Hero Academia, expect more Wu-Tang, expect some watch-alongs at some point, and expect lots and lots of comic and movie recommendations in the Patron pod. That said, if you're just here from YouTube, I appreciate you. And I know a lot of people are coming over from Real Rejects and stuff. So if you guys want to see my Marvel stuff, my DC stuff, check me out on New Rockstars. Check me out on Real Rejects for Coy's Comic Corner, where I break down everything comics. If you guys want to see me just, freeballing with crazy ideas, TikTok and Twitter and Instagram. All right, enough vamping. I'll see you guys soon. My Hero Academia, still one of the best animes I've ever seen. Really enjoyed it. John Goetz, Gentleman and a Scholar. Patrons, the lot of you, you're amazing. Producer Curtis Mason, thank you for keeping this channel alive, and thank you all for being the best. All right, much love.